and welcome. My name's Maggie and I sell pots on the internet. And I thought today I'd talk to you about one of my recent purchases. It was an auction lot of Royal Worcester, mainly Blush Ivory. Let's have a look at it and learn a little bit more. So here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. Now I paid up for these. I paid £93, sorry, that was my bid of 75 plus the auction commission. And that sounds quite cheap, but that was because there's rather a lot of damages. Now we'll look at these two jugs first. This one isn't Blush Ivory, and there's the mould number. Is it focusing? No. It's 1094. And this one is the same number, 1094, and this one is Blush Ivory. Now you can see they've both been damaged. There's a repair here. I can get it to focus for you. There. And it's there, and it also has a chip. This is the back of the jug. Little hand painted flowers. And this is the front. Aren't they beautiful? Now, the Blush Ivory was put on in two parts. First they had this, the Blush Ivory, and then they sprayed this apricot glaze onto it afterwards. The spraying technique was quite new, and these date from 1890 to 1914. I think they stopped production of the Art Nouveau designs in 1914 as the Art Nouveau style went out of fashion. This one, unfortunately, if we can see it again, also has a crack where it's been repaired. Going all the way around. It's also visible on the front. Oh, mainly on this is the back rose, and there's the front roses. Lovely little jugs. Nice flower holder, but as you can see it should have 2 handles and it's only got 1. And there's also a little chip just here. The base is pretty worn and it's difficult to see the date on it. But again, it would have been between those dates of 1891 and 1913. Now this potpourri vase is nice. But as you can see, it's missing the lid. There's a little bit of wear just here, where the lid has rubbed it, and there's some wear to the gilding. Here's the apricot colour again that's been added by spray during the manufacture, and the beautiful little hand painted sort of daisy flowers. Inside has got a little bit of staining. And we can clearly see the mould number on the base, 1790. And we can count the dots. Now the dots tell us the actual age of the vase, and this one's 1910. That's a little bud vase, nice painted coloured daisies in the typical blush colour with a little bit of apricot. It's a bit dirty inside, but it's so fragile. It was too fragile for me to stick a brush in there and try and clean it out. And there's no damage on this one. And there on the base, it's got the mould number 1876, and you can see that where the dots would be is just in this rim here, and they haven't taken or come out. And again, they'd probably be under the England there, which again we can't see. So we haven't got the actual date mark, but it would again be between 1891 and 1913. Now, I paid up for this lot because I fell in love with this rather nice shell, typical of the Art Nouveau style, where they took forms of nature and produced them into pots, decorated with natural elements, and of course here it's flowers. It's in nice condition. There is a tiny chip. Can we find it? That's the question. Yeah, it's just there. Tiny chip just there. And there's the base mark. And it is very small, but quite clear, and I'm able to distinguish that this was made in 1909. Very nice. I paid up to 93 because I thought I had 3 pretty good pieces. I didn't notice that this vase was also damaged. Can you see the little crack running there? And then the repair on this side. So I was a bit annoyed with myself for not spotting that. But I should get my money back and make a little tiny profit on this. Nice hand painted item with pheasants. See if I can get a better focus on the pheasants for you. And then look at the base mark. Now this is not Royal Worcester, although sometimes you will see it on the internet listed as Royal Worcester, because it says Royal China Works, Worcester, but this was actually made by Granger & Co, who was another quality maker of the time. And that's it, my little collection of blush ivory ware from the Art Nouveau period, 1891 to 1913. Now when I get a set of pots, my first thing is to check the base marks, to see what I can find out from them. And if it's a base mark I'm not familiar with, my go-to book for finding out information is a copy of Godden's. This is my original copy, which I was always very careful with. But then, in one of my auction lots, I got this battered copy. And just the same information, but I don't need to be quite so careful with it because it was already battered. And this sits on my desk, and if I need to know anything, find anything, I have a quick look in here first. As far as the Royal Worcester was concerned, I found most of the information about the blush ivory from the Royal Worcester Museum, which you can find online, and they have a whole page about the process that was used to make the blush, and they tell you that it got fired 5 times in all, starting with the first biscuit firing of the Parian clay, and then afterwards it had another firing when they added the gloss ivory finish on the inside. I think you probably see that best in this one. There. That's the gloss ivory went on the inside, and they added the blush coating and the spray apricot, and it had another firing. Then the outline for the painting was added, and that would have another low temperature firing to fix that, and then the painters could get to work. It did have which I found fascinating because I didn't know, was that they had like an undercoat firing. I think they said it was a dark red on the parts that were going to be gilded, so that the gilding would fix to the china. So that's interesting to know, and that went on at that point. And if you want to find out any more, as I said, it's on the Royal Worcester Museum website, which is really interesting for those of us that are a bit mad about pots. Now I am going to put these for sale on eBay, and I hope to make a little profit. I won't make much because of the damages, but I was very pleased to have a little bit of blush ivory because I've always loved it. Ever since I was a child, I used to love seeing pieces of blush ivory, and I'll be very sorry to see that shell bone go, so I'll probably put that in my cabinet for now and be able to enjoy looking at it for a little while. I hope you found this interesting, and I will come back and revisit these items after they've sold, and you can see whether indeed I did make any profit at all. Bye for now, see you soon.